Okay, here we go. Welcome everybody. So we're back in the project that we started the other day. So we're looking at 5 different ways to use editing of loops or samples. In this case, I've got 5 different loops in my project. So you'll see 6 different tracks, but in one case it's 2 of the same loop, but I've panned them to the right and to the left. So that was one of the techniques that was mentioned as well. So we'll go through quickly the different things that they talked about. So the first thing they talked about here was in this track. I'm going to press solo here so we can hear just that track for the moment. And that's a drum beat that I've gone and sliced out different sections and just removed them, okay, so that they're gone. And then what I've done is I've put on a little bit of delay. So if you click down here for effects, you'll see for this track, I have digital delay or D delay, okay? You can also add additional effects to that. If, for example, I wanted to also add a reverb to that. Let's try something a little tame. Here we go. So I'm going to play just this track for the moment, and I'll turn off the effects, and we'll hear just how it sounds. Then I'll add the effects in. So this is just the sliced up drum sample. Okay. So if we go back and play it again with our delay on now. So you can hear a little bit of trail there. Okay. And you could dial in the time to find the exact kind of rhythm that you would like. Okay, I can turn on my reverb now as well. So you can hear the reverb and the delay together. So we'll turn that down just a little bit, a little too much. And again. All right, good. So there we go. So that's our one track with a bunch of slices taken out of it. Actually, at the end of it, you can hear, I'm going to zoom in on our project here a little bit, and I'll show you where we've done a little bit of stutter. So if I zoom in and scroll back here, you can see we've taken one of the snare hits and repeated it over and over and over again. So we'll play that section. Okay. So that's how you would create a stutter effect. You'd find a sound that you'd like, cut a little small section of it, and then repeat it over and over again. Okay? So I'm going to take solo off of that now, and we'll go back to the beginning of our project and press play. And incorporating another loop with a whole bunch of reverb on it. Back to the first loop. And okay, so that's one of the other techniques that they've talked about. So I've taken a section here, the end of the loop, and I've chopped it off, and I've just reversed that section. So I've put a little slice in here. So if you put the cursor where you want it and you right click, it will give you an option to slice it. So you slice it where you want it, and then you can click on that and reverse the region. Okay, so you can hear, we'll play it again. You can hear the regular drums play, then reverse. Now, if you ask me, all of those drums with all of the delay on them make it a little bit busy in this section. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them out and leave just the first little section in there. All right, so we'll see what this sounds like now. Okay. Okay, so we're kind of building up, getting a little bit busier. So we're going to show you, we're getting to around 27, 28 bars here. So we're almost at our 32 bar kind of limit or maximum here. I suppose you could go longer than that if you wanted to, but I'd like to see at least that and at least this number of tracks so you can show me all the different techniques. So we looked at slice, we looked at stutter, we have reverse here. One of the other was talking about panorama. Okay, so what I've done here is I've taken two different tracks. I'll solo these, and I've played it so that they are left and right, and one of them has what's called a blues driver. It's a type of distortion effect on it. So you can hear one side's going to be really distorted, the other side won't. Now the way you're hearing it right now is through the microphone on my desktop, so you're not going to hear the stereo effect in the same way. But here we go. Okay, but hopefully you can hear that nice, long, extended bass drum beat there with a little bit of distortion on it. I think it sounds really kind of neat. Okay, and then I've just added in just a simple 4 on the floor, we call it, boom, 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 in the bass drum. All right, and then I'm going to grab some of our other loops here. And to copy, you click on it and you can right click and say copy, or you can click on it and say control copy on a PC or command copy on a Mac, and put your cursor where you want it, right click in the track you want it to go, and press paste. And if I want again, I could paste again. So I'm going to have 2 copies of that one. In fact, I'm going to get even more because I'd like for it to be the same length as this thing, which I'm going to copy and paste in here as well. Okay, and you can move it. If it doesn't go exactly where you want it, you can move its position. Okay, again, copy. And if I go to paste here, it's going to paste it there, but you can drag it and it should snap where you want it. Okay, so we have a few different examples there. All right, do the same here. We're going to copy, and I want to paste it so I can extend the length of this section as well. So we're going to have all the loops going at once just to see what it sounds like. Okay, there we go. All right, and then we'll grab some of that first little section right there. I'll just grab this little one because I like that. Copy, and we can put our cursor where we want it to go. Paste one there, and then maybe just for fun, paste another and move it to there, like this. There we go. Okay, so we're almost at our 32. We'll call it right there, and then I'll just show you what this sounds like, and then I'll show you how to finalize it. So make sure you're always saving your work. It does a bit of an autosave for you, which is very handy. So we'll go back to the very start. Got to remember to not solo those things. Here we go. I'm going to paste one in here just because it sounded a little bit empty there. So make sure it goes in the right place. Oh, I know what I did. I didn't copy the right thing. That's okay. I'll just delete that. Click on this. Copy. Paste. There we go. That's the right one. There we go. So now, oops, Command Z, redo. There we go. I like that space. And then here's the stutter. There we go. And now one final technique it talked about is repitch. So you can click on a track, right click here, and you've got audio stretch. So you can move it by a semitone up or down. So that's one piano key, or you can change its speed. So in this case, I'm gonna pitch it up a semitone, okay? Let's see, I can pitch it up again. So let's see if we can hear that change happen, but it's not so obvious with drums. Yeah, I could hear the drums get a little bit higher there. And I can go through and try that again. I can keep processing it in that way. Up and up and up, a semitone each time. And we can hear it now. Cool, and we'll solo that track so you can hear just that, just this track. It's going to get a lot higher pitch right here. So if you're clever, you could use this bass drum to kind of play you a melody as well by changing the pitch of each kind of region as you go through here. Okay, so for here, for example, I could go stretch and go down a semitone and then down perhaps another semitone. And if we hear just that track again, we'll hear a bit of a melody in the bass. Okay, so bing, bong, bing, bing. We have 4 notes going on there, okay? All right, so let's say we've got our project. We have it the way we want it. We're kind of happy with what we have, okay? We save it. We want to make sure that you can submit it, all right? So under File here, you have Download Tracks or Mixdown As. Okay, so we're going to select Mixdown As. It's creating a mixdown for me. So what that's going to do is sort of combine all of your tracks at the levels you've specified. So your job's to pick the right levels and the right panning for where you want things to be, and then go through this process of exporting a mixdown. And then you will be submitting that mixdown to me in the Dropbox. Okay, and that's all that you have to do. So you can choose here between your different MP3 or WAV files, but I want to keep it small because it's easiest for me. So if you can send me one of either the high quality MP3s, is fine with me. All right, so I'm going to click high quality MP3, and then if I select download, it will export one for me, and then that will be the MP3 file that you're going to submit to me. Okay, so hopefully that's relatively straightforward. If you have any questions about that process, or if I wasn't clear about anything, please shoot me a message. I'd love to hear some questions from you guys. I'd like to hear from you a little bit more. So please have a look at this stuff, give this a try, and I hope that you're successful. Okay, thanks a lot.